Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Rock Bottom Airsoft. It's good to see you again, and as always, if it's your first time here, it's good to see you. If you've been following my series of videos, we know we cover all sorts of things Airsoft related on this channel. We'll look at everything from tech to gear to gameplay, everything we can really, and cover all sorts of things. So before we get started, as always, if you're enjoying my series of videos, then please subscribe. And then every time I upload a new video, you'll be kept informed. And at the same time, you can look out for one of my videos dropping every weekend. I'll always get at least one video a week out. And midweek, try and get some gameplay footage in there. Now, I apologise in advance for this week that we didn't get any gameplay footage, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I couldn't get in on a game. But I will be gaming this weekend, so next week we should have some gameplay footage. And if you've been enjoying those videos, as I say, keep up to date with them. Make sure you're subscribed. So today's video, what we're going to be looking at. Well, what I'm going to look at today is I thought it'd be fun for people who are new to the sport, or even people who are experienced that maybe haven't noticed these things before. But today I'm going to look at 5 items that are very affordable. All of them are available for under 20 British pounds. 5 items that I wish I'd known about when I put my first kit together when I first started playing Airsoft. Those sorts of items that you turn up to site, you've got all your gear, you're ready to go, and then you think, somebody's got something there, that would make my life so much easier and help me along with my gameplay. Now, this list isn't an exhausted list. There's literally loads of items I could cover. I am thinking about doing these 5 items for certain amounts as a regular thing. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more videos like the one we're doing today. So remember, there are lots of items that are useful as well as these, but these are the 5 we'll start with today. Now, what I want to discount on this is eye protection, face protection, the clothing that you're going to wear, your rig, you know, your plate carrier, replicas, that type of thing. We're going to assume that you've got all the gear that you need, like your boots, your gear that you're wearing, and your safety gear, your eye protection and face protection, and you're ready to go on that first game. These are little items that you may not consider when you're doing your shop. So without further ado, let's get into the first item. So the first item I've got here is what we would call a mag loader for a sidearm for a gas blowback pistol. Or a thumb saver. I've seen them called that before. If you are into 3D printing, I believe there are designs so you can 3D print your own. This particular one here is from a company called Project Airsoft. It's very affordable. You can get one of these online from their own website for about £5 British. Now, doesn't look like much, but when you have a magazine, I'm sure you're aware, when you're loading pistol magazines or gas blowback magazines, you have to pull the magazine follower down and then feed the BBs in one at a time. Now, using your finger to pull that mag follower down, it can be very tiresome, and 9 times out of 10 it'll flick out of your hand. I've actually had magazine followers on pistols damaged or even broken off because they've slipped out of my fingernail, flown up and then snapped off at the top. This little beauty will stop that happening to you ever again. It's simple as anything to use. It's a good idea. You basically just slide that over the top of your pistol magazine. They come for various pistol magazines. This particular one is for a Glock. So you slide it over the top of the magazine and then push down, and that holds the magazine follower down, so you can then pop your BBs in at your leisure with no problem at all. So for £5, that item is certainly worth it in my opinion. So let's pop that to one side. So £5 there, save you a lot of frustration, saves your magazine followers. So next up, we've got another very simple item. Now, it's not the whole device. The bit we're actually looking at here is this carabiner. If you're into climbing at all, you'll have heard of a carabiner before, very often used by climbers. These ones are not designed for climbing. These ones are just, well, they call them a tactical carabiner, but they are handy. For this particular carabiner, I'm using it for a pistol lanyard. So I just clip that onto my belt loop, or onto my molly, or onto a plate carrier, or pretty much anything else that's on my person. I can clip that carabiner on now, and that will hold my pistol lanyard securely. So yeah, it's great for stuff like that. I also keep a number of these clipped to my chest rigs, to my combat belts, sometimes to belt loops. Pretty much all over. You can put them on rucksacks. They're brilliant because it means you can hang whatever you want off there. What I'll very often do is on the shoulder straps of my plate carrier, I'll have one of these carabiners on each side, so that when I'm in an area where I don't need my lower face protection, such as in the safe zone, but you're having your briefing and you're ready to go out into the unsafe zone, as it were, into the firing zone, then I will clip my lower face protection onto one of these and have it hanging off the shoulder of my plate carrier. And at the same time, my iPro has a strap on it, so the strap of my iPro will be hanging off the other carabiner on my other shoulder on my plate carrier, and that way I won't forget them when we start heading out of the safe zone, and I can put them on before I head into the play zone, as it were. So yeah, you can use these for anything. You might find other uses for them. They look pretty cool, and the price for these carabiners, they're currently available at Amazon for only $4.99 for 2 of them. So again, very cheap, very affordable, very useful. It means you don't have to have your hands full of your replica, anything else you're carrying, and your eye protection and lower face protection and everything else you're trying to take out with you. You can basically clip it to one of these and hang it off your rig somewhere. So there we go with that one. That's another item for £5, which is very handy. Now, as we move into the next bit, this is probably something you may have considered, but you may not have considered. This is a sling. Now, believe it or not, I've encountered many new players, whether they're renting or whether they own their own replica already, that do not have a sling. Now, if you prefer to run without a sling, that's no problem at all. But what I will say is that from my point of view, a sling is invaluable. It's so much better when you can have your primary weapon slung. If you don't need to be carrying it, you can have it on the sling. If you have a sidearm and you want to move to your sidearm, you can drop it on the sling. A sling is a brilliant investment. It's one of the best things you can get for playing Airsoft. It means that you can always have your replica with you, but you don't have to be carrying it. You can have it slung. Again, the benefits of a sling are huge. It also means that you have less chance of dropping it, because if you keep it on the sling when you're in game and it was to fall out of your hand or anything like that, it's just going to fall on the sling. Now, this particular sling is a single point bungee sling. The reason for that is it has got some flexible bungees in this bit here, and these can be worn in a variety of ways. They're quick release. Basically, this clips onto your sling mount on your primary rifle. Works particularly well with ARs. Once that's attached to the primary, you just click it in there and it's slung, so you can keep the sling on you, and when you want to put the rifle down, you just unclip it and pop it down. Now, one of these slings is very affordable. It does vary depending on the quality that you want to get. They can go from £10 and then upward from there, so it depends how much you want to spend. But you know, the £10 ones I've used in the past that you can get on eBay, and they're absolutely fine. I've never had any problems with them. They're maybe not quite as good quality as a more expensive one that you might get from a shop such as Military First, but even then, if you get a more expensive single point sling, you really don't need to spend any more than £30. So, you know, for the money that you pay, if you're just starting out, £10 to get yourself a sling and be able to sling your rifle, even if it's a rental rifle, it's handy being able to just clip a sling on, and most sites won't have a problem with you doing that. So, you know, that's absolutely great thing to have. So a sling is definitely a must, I would say, for one of those 5 things that comes in really handy that you might not have considered in your budget when you're putting your first kit together. So a sling, £10 up, definitely worth a buy. I'll put links to all of these items in the description, so you know where you can get them from if you do decide that these items would be useful for you as well. And next up, it's a bit more obscure. You will find these advertised as an ammo pouch. I got this particular one on eBay. Now, this has been invaluable. I wouldn't have thought it would be as useful as it was, but it is great. I mean, basically all you do is it's just a screw cap off a bottle, You fill the pouch up with BBs, it will hold around about 1,500, maybe 2,000 BBs in there comfortably. And then you can carry this around in one of your pockets, in a rucksack, wherever you want to carry it. I tend to put it in one of my cargo pockets on my combat trousers. And the beauty of it is because they're in this cloth bag, they don't rattle. So with the high cap magazine, as you may know, you get what they call the tactical maracas. You get a rattle when you start running. But one of these bags, it works really well. It doesn't rattle. And what it does mean is if you're in between games and you're in the field and you're not going back to the safe zone and you want to carry on playing, take this out of your pocket, start reloading your magazines. You can pour them out of there. It's much easier to pour out of this solid bottleneck than it is out of a bag of BBs. You won't lose as many BBs. It's easy to fill up again with a bag because it's got a nice wide opening in it. And they're just worth their weight, really. They're really good. I always take one of these with me. You probably, if you've played before, you'll know yourself that mid-game they'll say, has everybody got enough ammo to continue? And there's always a few people that will have to go back to the safe zone. They may miss out on a bit of a gameplay because they have to go back and reload. If you have one of these in your pocket, you've got plenty of ammo with you at all times, and it's not going to give away your position. It doesn't rattle. There's a bit of extra weight there, but not too much. And it's certainly better than carrying your BBs in a bag. So yeah, you can get one of those. They're around about £8. So again, £8 British. It's just worth it. It comes in really handy. So again, another item that I got further down the line that now I don't go to a game without it. Now last, but by no means least, is certainly an item that I overlooked when I first started playing Airsoft at my very first game. I'd made my kit, I thought I had everything sorted, and the one thing that I didn't get, that you guys there will probably know I'm a big fan of already, is these gloves. Gloves are superbly useful. You can get many different varieties. You guys know that I am a massive fan of mechanics gloves, mechanics wear. I really like their gloves. They're really comfortable, they're really hard wearing, and they work really well. And they come in various designs, various colours. You can go as tactical or as non-tactical as you want. You can go as bright or as dull as you want in the colours. They're superb. But what I would say is that any pair of gloves really is better than no pair of gloves. Here's another pair of gloves that I wear on occasion. These ones have the fingers missing where your trigger finger would go. These are what they call the impact, so they have protection over the knuckles. These ones not so much. They do offer protection, but not as much as a pair of impact. You can get full gloves with the impact design on there, which I have some of those as well. I have lots of these mechanics gloves, as I say. I really like them. But any pair of gloves is good, and the reason I say that gloves are my final spot in here, and one well worth getting, is especially if you play outdoors. I play woodland games, as most of you will know that's been following my videos, and the thing is with woodland games, not only are you putting your hands in all sorts of foliage and bushes, resting on trees, leaning on them, that type of thing, but you also normally will have wooden obstacles and wooden barricades that you can hide behind. Now the gloves will protect you when you're touching those things. They'll help prevent you getting splinters from the wood, help prevent you cutting yourself, injuring your hands in general, as well as keeping your hands warm in the colder climates and the colder weather. And at the same time, they will offer you some protection from being hit in the knuckles or the fingertips. And anybody who's been shot in the knuckles with an Airsoft replica will know that that is a particularly painful place to get hit if you aren't wearing gloves. If you're wearing a pair of gloves like these with the impact, not a problem at all. You'll know you've been hit, but it's not going to hurt or sting half as bad as it does without the gloves. I made an error once of forgetting to wear my gloves. Near enough immediately I got shot in the fingertip, and it really hurts. But with a pair of gloves, they protect you from that, as well as protecting you from the environment that you're in. So there we go. 5 items. 5 items that you may not have thought of when you're putting your kit together, that seem trivial, might seem a bit boring, not as cool as some of the other stuff we get in Airsoft, but they're very affordable. Very affordable. They won't cost you a lot of money, and they'll make your gameplay that much more fun because they'll make your life easier. And in the case of the gloves, they'll protect you. So yeah, those are 5 things to get us started that that I would say are well worth investing in. I'll look to do more of these. Like I say, let me know in the comments if you want me to do more in this series of doing 5 items that are worthwhile, that won't cost you a lot of money. These are 5 items of gear for Airsoft that aren't going to break the bank. Okay, so again, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did enjoy the video, then please pop a like on it. If you've got any comments for me or any questions for me, then drop a comment below. I'll always get back to you. And as always, if you're enjoying these videos, then please subscribe to the channel, and then you'll always be kept up to date when I release a new video. But apart from that, until next time, enjoy your Airsoft.